Well, hello, citizens of Aereo. Welcome in. What's up, fam? As the Ross has said in the chats, we're coming at you live for another edition of our Holders Frenzy affiliate tournament. Welcome in. We've got lots of Titan action on the slate for you all. I'm Nugget, joined by Ross. How are you today?
So good. What's up, Titan Army? That's right. It's good to be back. Holders tournament, just action-packed times. Let's get on with it.
Right. We've had players battling it out all morning, crushing their way through two different brackets. We've got our block finals and our grand finals here for you all, the fans. Holders Frenzy, more like Forest Frenzy, because you're going to be seeing a lot of that element today. Our first match on the line, which will be a best of three. All matches today will be best of three. But our first bracket final will be Ivan El Mosquito versus Heya. Ivan piloting the Forest Titan Verdugo versus Heya's Dusk Titan Heya. We'll see how this shakes out, if we will get a ditto in the finals, or is Heya going to be the lone Dusk to prevail through the rest of this blocks? We shall see. Players are getting matched up as we speak. I'm ready for some Forest action. It's been a little bit. What are we feeling? What are we feeling, Ross?
I mean, as a Dusk fanboy,
Mm-hmm.
you know where my money is right now. I'm cheering for the lone Dusk.
The
3 out of 4
Dusks.
Forest. Feel the vibe this morning in the Discord was pretty defensive. So it's who's going to be able to break through, who's going to be able to deal the damage. I mean, in weeks previous, it's been much more of who can deal the damage the fastest. And I think
Mm-hmm.
today we're going to see a little different type of game. So exciting times. Always a good time to be here hanging out, watching some tournament action of Reign of Titans. Whew.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
big one. I mean, we haven't seen. When's the last time we had 3 forests in the finals?
Uh, uh, Never.
A long good time. Yeah, exactly. Chat, what do you guys got out there? I got Blast Witch. We got Amir in the chat. Gypsum, Daniel's here. RC Tushar. We got Shahid, sorry. Aunt Sharma. Blake. The whole Twitch crew. How we doing out there, chat? You guys feeling it like we are? We're loading up the first match. It's about to get hot and heavy. Ivan El Mosquito versus Hey Ya with Verdugo and the Titans. Hey Ya. Let's get it on.
Seeing already a little bit of an indication of what this Titan build is for Verdugo, the double shield setup.
Ooh, yeah, people liking this spike shield switcheroo. It got a pretty heavy rework last week
with the large
Feature-
balance patch. Yes,
That's
so
right.
many things updated.
Forsaken Sword, the main hand weapon for Heya, which has also been a fan favorite in the past 7 or 10 days. But the stat lines, if you look at base stats, the base stats were identical. So we'll see sort of where this shakes out. So far, Titans not able to deal a whole lot of damage through those 50 and 60 defense walls.
Verdugo popped up to 100 for a sec. That's scary.
Right. Just a casual triple digits. Not a big deal. Just a casual triple digits.
Hey,
But
going to
we
be
know
in the driver's seat here.
That's right. Going to resolve first. If you guys don't know, Forest is the element known for sort of leveraging their defensive stat into an offensive power. Dusk is more, more offensive, I'd say, just by direct comparison, but it definitely has become a tankier build recently, or a tankier element recently with the lifesteal and true damage, etc. Agony, one of the big ones, minus 100 Verdugo.
True damage.
Yeah, and maybe that's sort of the meta here is the true damage does not care how big your defense
Mhm.
is. Just going to rip through regardless of your defensive stat. I mean, regardless of all stats, put
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
stats, regardless of what your positive stats are or your debuffs. Hey, in the red zone though, kind of. I mean, I wouldn't say teetering, but I think once you dip into that 100 mark, that's when Forest can really start blasting away.
We'll see too. Coming in with a full mana bar here was close to overflow damage last turn.
Ooh, gonna
There's a major
recover some
recover.
health,
Plus
and then
85 also reworked,
yeah,
adding.
and then we see some of these Forest scrolls just really plugging away. Rock
There's
slam,
distortion jab,
turn.
also more true damage. Some much needed healing there from Vampiric Strike. Almost a 1-to-1 exchange there with 2 counts of lifesteal. Now back down to 1.
Verdugo, lucky to get that meditate off. They were
Yeah.
down into 0
hmm
mana at the end of last turn, so that could have spelled real disaster. Hayat's stats finally back to the base numbers. Tree's growth gonna put defense at 90 for Verdugo.
Jeez.
Ooh, here's that drained combo. Rejection into heartbreak. Every
Or
stat
not.
or
Yeah.
every life point here mattering a lot. Oh,
Oh, big hit there. And the Alchemist comes in clutch.
spinning shield though, gonna knock on the door.
Oh, goodness. 119. Hey, I was hanging on with 5.
This is huge. What is
No.
happening?
Oh my gosh. No
Coin flip.
stats. And gosh, now, yes, coin flip to decide what's the
Who
play.
resolves first? Th- Wild times here in match number 1. Heya hanging on with 5 health. What's the roll? Forsaken
Oh,
Slash.
comes out.
Gotta be.
That's got to
It's
be
gotta
it.
be.
Yes, with
And
10
Heya.
extra credit.
Whew. Heya taking game number 1 in a nail biter. That was that. That
Down
was
to
as wild as we're gonna see today. I think. I gotta be honest,
5
guys.
health. Last round, last card. Coin
We saw
flip to decide.
triple digit smackies and triple digit defenses. I mean, we really
Gosh,
covered a lot of bases in that match. GG's.
game 1 of holders. Game 1 of the
Holy.
stream. Crazy.
Hey, up 1-0. Gonna try to finish it out here against Ivan El Mosquito. Gonna have to win 2 in a row for this Forest to move on and make it a Forest v Forest grand finals. I didn't see a whole lot of, I mean, sure, like scrolls drawn, a little bit of wiggle room of how that could have gone differently, but I
Mm,
think both players played pretty much their game plan. Verdugo getting that defense up to triple digits, being able to use that then on the way back down as attack. Nobody really ran dry on mana except for the very final turn where it didn't really matter.
hmm
Heya found all those true damage scrolls to just keep on plugging away at the health bar Verdugo, regardless of defense. Whew. And that's why they're in the finals, folks. That's why they're in the
hmm
finals. Focus punch coming out on the 0 damage of Heya, feeling yucky.
Distortion kick. Gonna be
Whew.
some damage. Oh, spike shield.
96 on the spike shield. Again,
hmm
Heya at 0 defense, just having to take all this straight to the dome.
As an opportunity to swing momentum back. Now take it if they can take advantage of that 0 agility on Verdugo now.
Yeah, I will say last game, Heya was potentially pretty lucky to find his Alchemist and Major Recovery in the
hmm
top half of his scroll deck. So if those two things cannot be found soon, he's going to be hurting in the next 2 turns. He does have 2 instances of the drained keyword applied, so his lifesteal cards will be even more effective. There's the Major
Juicy. Yeah.
Recovery.
Big healing. Also some healing coming from Verdugo. And oh, the blood magic. The
Ooh, we didn't get to see blood
blood
magic
magic.
last game. There it
Hmm.
is. Well, that sort of negates what I said about finding those exact 2 scrolls. Really, as long as I think as long as he finds 2 of the 3, he'll be alright, and we've already seen Major Recovery and Blood Magic now, so Alchemist would just be just icing on the cake for Heiya.
Just something to keep in the back pocket, something Verdugo and Ivan El Mosquito needs to keep in mind here as well.
Iron Maiden, another scroll we did not see from the Dusk in game 1.
Mm,
110 defense.
well,
Verdugo get
then,
really suiting up, if you will. Here's the Courage, a point, a scroll of contention recently.
all
Well loved.
stats.
Yeah. Well loved and well hated by few and many at the same time.
Okay, Verdugo trying to mount the offensive here a little bit more, reestablish that lead. But man, those green stat lines on Heya right now.
Yep, did well
Uh,
to pump those up with courage. Oh, question mark. The clock ticks. Forsaken Slash, the first scroll of the turn. Gonna take away all the remaining stats of Verdugo. As I say that, they get 30 defense back.
that'll be great. The mana berries, some straight mana healing, a restoration, fine attacks. Not going to be as juicy as they would like, I'm sure. Same as spinning shield. That's what happens when you have no stats. And
Yeah, the
again,
good
hey,
news
in the driver's seat.
and yeah, the good news for Verdugo last turn is they were really slinging scrolls and they still have plenty of mana. So it would have felt much worse if they played a whole lot of mana, played a whole lot of scrolls, and still didn't
Mm,
deal much damage. But here we go. Heia's defense down to 15. Verdugo at base stats. Heartbreak gonna do a little slingshot of the health bars. Ooh, reversal is gonna be an opening here for Verdugo. Oh, there it is. The
well,
icing.
yep.
So all 3 mass heals for Heya, and now even the life steal coming in clutch to keep him alive. Shield bash otherwise would have killed last turn. It still
Oh, it
does.
still does. 162. Verdugo clawing back in, bringing us to a game 3. What a battle back to take the lead again.
That was wild. And from our perspective, we could see that Verdugo had shield bash the previous turn, chose not to play it to get that opening with the reversal first to maximize damage. Because again, we know Heya was going for those life steals, trying to keep that health above big smacky range. But when you can hit for 162, it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Well played. Game 3, folks. Here we go. The winner of this match moves into grand finals. The loser is retired for the day in the block finals.
Still gonna walk away with a little bit of prize money, but
Whew. Oh,
uh,
yeah.
that will be the end of tournament journey for today. Here it
That's right,
is.
folks. If you're not playing Reign of Titans yet, you should definitely get on that. Get into the tournament scene. 3 weekends of the month, every month, tournaments for you to play in. Let's go. Game 3. Things are I don't know. I feel like maybe starting off a bit faster than last match.
Quicker into the red for Verdugo. I'm sure they're not happy with that, but hey, with this courage off the bat, crazy good draw.
Yeah, maybe not the time they wanted to strike, but I mean, if you have a full mana bar and bumped up stats, you may as well go for it.
Mhm.
Especially while Verdugo's not pumping 110 defense. Let's see what happens here in turn 3. Let's start off with our little ritual. What do you say?
Slap on some drained.
There's another instance of the drained keyword.
Mm,
Hey, I'm not starving for health at this point, but we'll take it when they can get it. Verdugo very sneakily getting that defensive number up and up
Focus
to protect
punch.
themselves and prep for some damage dealing. Spike shield only hitting for 69. We've seen that thing go over triple digits when the time is right. Heya into yellow health. Verdugo still in green, but really the difference all but 30 or so.
Verdugo just been digging their heels in, uh, just not moving the needle that much here. Still needs to make some stuff up. We're both here approaching 10 scrolls each. Living Woods. 130 on the defense for Verdugo.
Ooh.
Magical Slash. Cut things a little bit. Oak Strike still going to hit. 86. Loveless Lunge, some much needed healing there. Lifesteal at 105 for Heya.
Yup. But Heya getting down into this there and even lower now. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
things like blood magic, not a choice at this point. Unless we pop a major recovery beforehand, that would be a wild turn of events. But those are the openings that you now have to look for as Dusk. Because using your health as a payment source, especially when you get down here in the red bar, super sketchy. I mean, we've seen Verdugo hit for 160 plus. Can't play too many games with the health bar. Broken Shriek going to bring Verdugo to 161. There's the major
Freeze.
recovery. Well
Yeah.
done. Reversal coming in to tear down the defense and build their own. But
Distortion
the
Kick
true
gonna
damage,
ignore that. Yep.
true damage still pretty darn good. Agony going to pierce as well. Verdugo down to 11. Trample's not going to deal 96.
But it's
Oh,
close. Oh goodness. Not
nearly
another nail
had me
biter.
eating my words.
We have
Coin
another
flip.
coin toss. Ah.
Hi, yi. Heads I win, tails you lose. When both agilities are equal, folks, we do a 50-50 randomly generated outcome for each scroll slot. However, with 11 and 7 health, I think it's only going to take one. The spiked armor. Spiked armor, the kill shot. Verdugo
Exactly
goes
enough.
down. And Heya moves to grand finals with their Dusk Titan. Heya.
GG's. Well played, Verdugo. Ivan El Mosquito put up a valiant effort there, but couldn't get through that life steal. I just the damage would not add up on Forest's end. But here we are.
Yup. The masterful true damage piercing through the wall of forest. We'll see that potentially happen again. I mean, there'll be an opportunity for that to happen again in grand finals. But first, we will have Forest v Forest in the bracket 2 finals. Tell us what we've
Um,
got, Nugget.
Potentially a change. Actually, an error from our uh earlier notes on the bracket. We have not
Oh.
a Forest Ditto.
Oh.
We have Forest versus Dawn for you all today. Here at the top
Wow.
of bracket 2, we have Drexen playing their Forest Titan Torin, and then S Valley playing the Dawn Titan Arudati.
Wow. Dawn enters the fray.
Dawn enters the fray. We'll see if Unstoppable Force can beat Immovable Object here. Pump
Yeah, I
your
mean,
attack versus pump your defense. As
but I
straightforward as it
mean,
could be.
we have seen dawns in the past with the Mirage, Disrupt, and Double
Mm-hmm.
Blind. You really get out of hot water pretty quickly. So I wonder if we're going to see the Ultra Tank Dawn or if it's going to be the Ultra Attack Dawn. You can build them either way. A lot of it depends on the DNA scrolls of the Titans. Um, but we will find out super soon. I mean, things to note, even if the Dawn is a very aggressive Dawn, they usually include those blinded scrolls. They just kind of throw them a little bit more willy-nilly. And so with Forest having, I'd say, a relatively low number of those massive attacks, if you can get out of jail with a few of those, you're about halfway home, staying alive. CPR. Yes. No. Staying alive. It's important, folks. It's important.
The other song that works is Another One Bites the Dust, but that feels too morbid.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with. I mean, even if I have to falsetto, I think the "Staying Alive" is gonna be my pick.
If you're not already over in the Discord, folks, hop on, check out, learn more about the game, get news on the latest updates, participate in community events such as the current ongoing vote to change. Uh Controversial maybe is the wrong word, but hot button
Hot
topic
button topic. There you go.
of hot button topic that is entangled. Lots of discussion going on about potential changes to this card or scroll drawn and based on community input. One of the best parts of this community and the game, you guys determine everything for the most
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
The
Community
meta,
involvement is paramount.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
Mm,
I've seen lots of different viewpoints. Lots of people. I mean, I feel like there's really two camps. But again, go in, put your vote there. Another thing that you could do right now is just take a little screenshot that says you were here in the stream. Post that into proofs and submissions. Take home a little free in-game currency titanium. Yeah, I mean, also this was my first week ever. I'm gonna just like rattle myself here. This is my first week
mhm.
ever that I qualified for Mystics missions giveaways
Hey,
by doing two or more of those in a single week. And I won titanium and three normal loot boxes.
ooh, spicy.
Wild time. That's right. First time ever in my years of playing Reign of Titans. But yeah, you guys can get in there. Mystics missions are little achievements you can strive for. They usually last for 48 hours, and you just post your proofs of completing them. And then at the end of the week, people who have done enough to qualify for the giveaway get into that channel, and hopefully you win. I'm just hoarding my loot boxes. Nugget, I don't. Are you a loot collector, or are you not much into the loot collecting?
Uh, Loot is a dangerous game. It is a slippery slope. And I have been trying to uh guard my heart.
Ah, that's fair. That's fair. You know. Yeah,
Because
I've
sometimes, I mean, the loot boxes, it's infinite potential. You never know. But also, you get lemons a lot.
that's true. I want to have just like a big loot opening stream. Like I haven't opened any of my loot boxes since I began collecting
Ooh.
them. Does this work? What is this? What is this? We're testing a poll in the chat. Never seen this in my life. Papa Nero says, "Hey, Oz winnings to be donated to my son's christening." You guys are gonna need to write that up.
Uh
I think
Goodness gracious.
there's a lot of really great charities to be donated to. I'll just say. Yeah, looks like old Streamlabs is in the chat. We're going to be, pushing out more and more functionality in the chat as we go on the Twitch stream. So if you guys have not hit the follow button yet, make sure you, just click that little heart underneath the stream. It is free. And if you turn on notifications, you will know every single time Reign of Titans GG goes live on Twitch, which again is 3 weekends out of the month for tournament play. And then there are also some weekday streams for what do they call them? The Azuri's uh,
Arena.
arena. Sure, I'm in with that. Karen in the chat. What's up, Karen? How are you? I'm now. Ay, ay, ay. Chat, you
Goodness
guys are
gracious.
wild. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We are getting this matchup locked in. but the player's having a hard time connecting currently. But yeah,
Wise
lots.
Rod, welcome in.
Ooh,
Tushar,
hello.
what's up? Fausto Bedeau. Okay.
I mean, flex
Mortis.
flex that French, get
Mm,
crazy.
hmm.
Maybe it's French.
Fausto.
That was an assumption. There we go. Gypsum knows what's up. If it gets, if we're waiting a little long for your players to connect, you can just start spamming in the chat. Not a big deal.
Just yeah, any emote you want.
Any email you want. I mean, eventually we'll have some fun little interactive things like predictions and polls and etc. for you guys to be doing. We do still probably have the team chance in the chat if I had to guess.
I hope so.
I don't know though. I hope so. I do hope so. Big shouts to the teams out there who've been repping today and training. I mean, I know there was a big push after the most recent patch. There was a sort of a tight window to get your Titans rented and updated and practiced with the scroll changes. So I'm sure the teams and their coaching units and etc. have been working pretty diligently this week. Get everybody prepped up for holders next weekend. We're already all the way back at a Titan tournament. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Titan
Wild
Tournament Volume
times.
20 coming
Titan
down the line very soon.
Titan Tournament 20, folks. So, again, if you want to get involved, if you want to play in that tournament, jump on into the Discord. Literally, I can almost guarantee that if you went to the Titan chat right now and said, I've been practicing and I want to play in a tournament, there would be teams just clamoring to help you grow as a player, to get you some rentals if you need them, to get you advice if you need it. But yeah, the teams are great. They just scoop up people who are willing and able. Say, "Come on in. Let's do this thing together." Boop, 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 bow. Still trying to get connected over player to player. Gonna have to defeat this opponent easily. So a little chat thinks Dusk will beat Forest. That's a I'm not gonna say it's a hot take. I mean, hey, I was in grand finals. I imagine has already played through a slew of forests and maybe a few dawns today. I didn't see the breakdown or go back and count Titan elements from today, but I think the vibe I was getting this morning was lots of forests, lots of dusk. Didn't hear much about anything else. We'll see. And I mean, as we saw in bracket final one, two out of the three of those matches were decided on the final turn, on the single final scroll. So I don't know if I'd be able to pick a winner already or even a favorite just yet. But it's gonna be wild regardless. Still trying to get the other bracket final connected, folks. So just bear with us. I did, but in the other bracket.
Well,
Oh, hey, outing that he's already lost to this Dawn.
oh,
Interesting. So he played this Dawn in bracket two. Yeah, I mean the true
hmm
damage changed for Dusk. At first, I was a little bit crushed because I thought it was going to take away from the lifesteal like personality of Dusk. Like I thought they were gonna. I thought it was gonna be a trade off, less lifesteal, more true damage, but really they're
mm.
just sort of supplemental. So I'm definitely on board. Um, I don't know how you feel about it, Nugget. What do you think about the Dusk rebrand?
Yeah, I agree. I was in that kind of same camp of because the life steal and playing around with that is so key to the personality and to the like meta that's kind of been unwavering throughout. But I do like um, how much more dynamic it makes things
Yeah.
for
I mean, it
sure.
was obviously well timed with the uptick in defensive builds like very recently, right? I don't think that was necessarily planned out that a couple elements became more defensive and then Dusk just said, "We don't care about your defense." But it is serendipitous, we'll say. Players still trying to connect, having just some weird things going on.
I believe we connected, but had an incorrect Titan selected.
Bars. If anybody's making the Nugget mixtape, that better be in there. That's all I gotta say. Yes, this matchup
I don't want to
should
hear
be.
that. I don't want to hear that mixtape. Actually,
You don't even
please.
want it, huh? Chat, you know what to do. Internet, you know what to do. Take it away. Make it happen. Put a little Fiverr ad out there like, "Hey, I'll feed you all the clips that Nugget has ever said. We need some bars." Yeah, if they changed lifesteal ability, Dusk would be ruined. I agree. I think that
Mhm.
it is a foundational piece of their personality, which is quite fitting, you know, Dusk and all. But having sort of a different angle is also nice because I the one thing that's sort of been cursing curses Dusk anyway. The one thing that's been cursing Dusk for a long time is that if you do not combo correctly, almost like you're almost underpowered at all times. But if you can combo correctly, then it like really stacks up well against the other elements. And so now having some other scrolls in the deck that don't need to combo, and in fact, you can play them like you don't even need to find necessarily a great spot to play true damage scrolls, right? You're just gonna you can just play them. So it almost it's design wise, it's nice because there is a very strategic time and place to play a lot of those lifesteal scrolls, and there's more and more flexible time and space to play the true damage scrolls. It's nice. It's nice. I had the opportunity
Not
to
too shabby.
not too shabby. I had the opportunity to I mean, I've been thinking about poison recently. There's been a lot of talk about the
Yes.
poison element and maybe what it needs to become more part of the conversation.
Hmm.
Um I again don't own a poison titan, so it's hard for me to be like, well, if this single scroll was different, like I don't know. But they sort of fall into the same camp as Dusk in this conversation of like you have to combo those poison scroll traits. You know, if you don't stack those instances of end of turn damage, you know, losing only five damage at the end of a turn, not a huge deal. But if you have stacked that up to where you can get somebody within kill range with your damage end of turn damage, then you know you become much more relevant. So maybe they just need to pull a page out of the Dusk book and have something that's really not as time critical. I don't know what that is, but I'm just saying I think it worked well for Dusk, and maybe it could work well for Poison. Chat, what do you guys want for Poison? I know there's a lot of vocal people out here. Give the people what they want. Here we go. Open open forum right now. Tell me about your Poison experience. Win games. Yeah, we're trying to get
Yes.
connected. We are that's word on the street is we've tried to connect a large handful of times. We're gonna try one last thing, and then if that doesn't work, we'll have to move forward.
So
But
when games, soon games.
yeah, exactly. Now you can play some cards which can give opponent a good damage without a good draw. Yeah, exactly, Karen. It's just like that.
Mhm.
Dusk doesn't like. I found myself holding Dusk cards. Like that's how important the combo is in Dusk. And like this is not necessarily a game, or there's not necessarily the mechanics in the game yet where holding cards for a lot of turns ever makes sense.
Right.
Like I'd say holding even 2 cards for 2 turns is probably too many.
Either they need to be played, you missed an opportunity to play them, or you should have burned them for a
Right.
different opportunity, right? Yeah, it's usually nothing unless it's like, a heal scroll or something like that you want to save for that moment, or maybe that disrupt that you're keeping in the back pocket, but
Yeah. You're waiting for your agility advantage to come in or something like that,
mhm,
but it's not like some other deck building games where regardless of what's in your hand, you still get to draw each turn. It's like no, if you don't play scrolls, you draw no scrolls.
mhm, mhm.
Oh my, this is looking promising, folks. Just in, we very well could be connecting. Oh no, it was the wrong Titans again.
I thought that was the correct Titans, but
Frost
it
eats
was
his
close.
shoe again.
That timing was like pretty poetic, actually, though.
There's a mixtape of me out there just saying things that instantly become false.
The commentator's curse is real, folks. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
So true. So true. Commentary, the easiest and hardest job all at the same time.
We
Yeah,
wield
just
so much power and so little at the same time.
it's like, yeah, just say what's happening on the screen. It's like, but then don't say the things that are gonna happen maybe. Again, we're getting these 2 players linked up. This is bracket 2 finals. The winner of this match, or the winner of this best of 3, will be facing Heya in grand finals. Heya says, Ross, can you turn up the volume? I personally cannot turn up the volume for the whole stream, but by saying this out loud, maybe the person who can will turn us up on the master dial.
Like I
Man,
said, so much power and so little at the same time.
it's all a facade. I can personally get a little bit closer to my own mic, but then I'm practically on top of it. It looks like the players have connected in some way, but they are still not playing the right Titans. Which folks, I don't know how to say this in a way that's. We have some tournament rules that say if it's impossible to connect to an opponent, or if for some reason you are to blame for certain connectivity issues, you will be disqualified. I barely can hear you. Can you hear everybody else? Hey, yeah. Am I actually quieter than everyone else, or is everybody quiet?
Is it, yeah, is it just the whole stream? Check, check. Hello. How
Here we
now,
go.
brown cow?
Ooh, what's the one that uses all the letters? Like the fox jumped over the fence. No, that has 2 F's in
The
it.
the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. You guys heard it here first. Every letter of the English alphabet.
There are better sentences out there, I believe, but
I'm
that's the
all
one.
ears. Yeah. They're playing. The players are playing.
They're playing. We have a spike
However, I
and a
was expecting a
dawn.
forest versus a dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Hey says it's everybody's problem. Perfect. I love it when it's not just a me problem.
Sweet.
But thank you for the feedback. Appreciate that. They're playing like they're really going at it. Should we be commentating this match, Nugget?
Um, sure. It's on screen. That's what we're supposed to do, right?
That's true. We got Titans on screen.
Hey.
All right.
All
Well,
Arundhati.
Arundhati versus Magnus is what is on the screen, regardless of what is in the bracket.
So we've
Uh,
got Dawn versus Spike, Magnus versus Arundhati. Arundhati.
and is it over right
Arundhati.
now? Not yet. It's not. Meditate. And then the mana well, not closing it out just yet. Diamond Hands coming across, going to close the gap on the health bars here. 39 to 44 again, but not a coin flip today. Arundhati definitely going to be first to resolve here in the next turn. Drexen is using the correct Titan. Beautiful.
Mhm.
Then it is going to be Spike versus Dawn, it seems. And Righteous Blow for 56 is going to close it out. Magnus falls,
Yes.
and Arundhati winning game one. And one step closer to that grand final championship match.
GG's. 1-0.
Sorry for the confusion, chat. We were just operating with the information that we had.
It's not our
Um,
fault.
it's
It's
not.
not our fault.
We could have looked at the actual bracket if I wanted to be
Mm.
hyper certain. But here we are. This is bracket 2 finals, chat, and that was, I mean, if we thought we'd seen it all in bracket finals 1, that was an entirely different match altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Ask me again if this is the super aggro Dawn or the super duper tanky Dawn, and I would say this they may not have any of those disrupt or blinded scrolls. The way that it looked in match 1.
The bear offhand set up for Dawn. Bare
And
knuckle Dawn.
we must mention the golden Forsaken blade on the other side, or
Yes.
Forsaken sword for Magnus. Drexen with the shiny flex. Of course, after 2 weeks, 2 tournaments in a row of winning, I feel like the gold sword maybe is just a proper flex. Shout outs to Drexen.
It's too powerful.
It's too powerful. I am inevitable. However, Magnus fell, right? Arundhati
Yes.
won the first match, so Magnus fell in match 1 or game 1. So they are 1 loss away from being done for the day. But things looking a little stripped down at the moment. Stats at 0-0-0 for 3 of 4 stats. Who needs stats? Yeah, exactly. Still dealing 70 damage on 0 attack or magicka is wild. Gonna continue the barrage. Magnus laying it on. There's that blinded keyword.
There it is.
So Magnus's next attack, Energy Strike, will not deal any damage. Courage,
Ooh.
Scroll of the Week, but still in the hole thanks to Entangled, the other Scroll of the Week.
Who'da thunk
Ooh,
it?
big heal there for Arundhati.
And
This
there are those
match
stats
going.
now.
That's right. This match going already longer than the previous one. Some hot takes in the chat. Love that. I mean, I love a good
Disrupt.
prediction. There's the magical slash that gets stifled. I don't think Drexen would forget something like that, but the blinded keyword was still in effect.
Magnus, courage of their own. Just in time to stifle that hammer throw a little bit. Spike punch is going to cut that defense even more. Back to baseline. Now
Spike
that
ball.
defense goes into the red after spike ball, but gets
That's right.
restored again.
And we were just talking about 6 of 8 stats total being in the red. Now 7 of 8 stats in the green. Everybody ready to party, and with plenty of mana to do so.
Arundhati's still going to squeak out that advantage. One more agility point than Magnus with both stats buffed. Fated Strike.
Fated Strike, a pretty large chunk of damage, but maybe more importantly, the buff to the attack stat of Arundhati.
Warriors Gambit's going to throw that to 115.
Sheesh. However, the trade-off being no defense for the next 2 turns. Magnus going to meditate, which could be the difference maker on the next turn if we get there. Oof. Aaron Dottie had to
Oh,
throw a scroll back, didn't have the mana to play it after the mana drain. Drexen playing some shenanigans, some manananigans, if you will.
mananigans.
Peter's in the chat. What's up, Peter? Glad you're here. Chop wood. Is it going to deal 134? Not with this defensive stat. Flying kick might close it out, and it does.
Exactly.
61.
Wow. Just enough.
Magnus gonna even the score 1-1, and we have got ourselves another game 3 on our hands. Bracket 2 finals happening right now here on twitch.tv/Reign of Titans GG. Tell your mom, tell your friends, tell your mom's friends. Get them in here, folks. Grand finals is going to be bonkers. Peter's saying they also lost to this Dawn. Who?
Ooh.
This Dawn tearing up bracket 2, it seems. I mean, as has Magnus. They've both come the same distance.
Mm-hmm.
Opening hands are decided here. Both players choosing to either keep or mulligan. Looks like Magnus had to take the mulligan. So we can see their mana bar starting at not full.
Already starting to cut some defense, but then stat boosts right away. Spike punch, adding some spiked to Arudati, but still nice and bolstered. Sonic Boom does hit for 80.
Arundhati got the courage and is just gonna let it make it rain here. Plenty of mana to deal some real damage next turn. Magnus has got to know that's incoming. Both players being careful about. I mean, at game 3, you kind of know, you know, everything's been on the table before, right? So you know what your opponent's bringing. You know generally what their game plan is, and you know where your openings are. It's just about finding them and being most efficient within those windows. There we go. Stats down from the blade or the sword. The aggressive spit. Major recovery for Arundhati. Plus 85 health. Going to be pretty much erased here by Spike Slash for 70. But it's about the friends we made along the way, chat. Magnus looking a little more healthy, but again, the stat line shows Arundhati has mana and knows how to use it. Magnus at 10 defense. Not ideal. Speaking of not ideal, getting your agility up to 36 and still not getting to resolve first has got to be sort of heartbreaking here for Magnus.
It hurts. It hurts.
Spike Tail going to remove a 10 defense, get them down to that second tier of defensive bonus. Magnus laying on the damage, but here comes the attack stat. Ooh, Disrupt gonna catch the heroic strike. Massive.
Really wanted that additional attack buff and the damage.
Yep. And really, yeah, I think it was almost just like a presence move. You know, it's like a stage setter.
Mm-hmm.
But the well-aligned disrupt from Magnus, gonna say it's all for naught. Gonna be Jab of Concussion to lead us off. Blinded keyword. Arundhati in the danger zone at 101. Quill Spray gonna make. Oh, sorry, it's gonna get stifled there by Blinded.
Mhm.
Fated Strike going to be some damage, but again, almost more importantly is the stat increase on the attack stat.
Ooh, Spike Shield hits hard.
Titan Clash going to be huge, but is it too late? Mana Drain. Arundhati going to be down to 40. Can they still resolve their scrolls? They still can. Diamond
Diamond
Hands
hands.
at 85. He's going to deal 111.
Ah, ah.
And now with 17 agility, Arundhati going to be in the driver's seat, going to be able to resolve first. Do they have 28 in the chamber? They sure do. Cleaving
For
blow
sure.
with the axe in the library. It was Arundhati taking it 2-1 over Magnus and going to grand finals. Whew. Those bracket finals were wild. Holy.
Jeez. On
What
a
a time.
Saturday?
On a Saturday afternoon. Some of you, it's already Saturday night. Some of you, it's still morning time, but I'm glad you're here. Hanging out with Ross and Nugget, playing some Reign of Titans in Holder's Frenzy. Yeah, we're going to get into grand finals here ASAP. If you guys haven't taken a screenshot yet that says, "Hey yo, I was here on the stream," do that right now. Post it in the the proofs and submissions channels on the Discord. I wish we had a Discord, like an exclamation Discord command. Team, can we get on that? Send people, funnel them straight to the proofs and submission page. Maybe
There you
even
go.
a exclamation point SS for how to take a screenshot. Just really handhold through giving out the free titanium. GG's to Drexen, who jumps into the chat. GG's Drexen. You fought hard. You did well, friend.
Yes,
But for the first
indeed.
time in almost a month, you will not be in grand finals. I wanted the triple. Yes. Yes. The back to back to back would have been very impressive. Not that it's not impressive to go champion, bracket final runner up.
Right, right. Do not
Knocking.
discount your accolades.
That's right. That is right.
Yep.
Whoo.
Up, clawing their way through two brackets. Now we are
Right.
here at the top. Grand finals here. Heya versus Arundhati. Gonna be a good one. The destined clash between dark and light. Heya versus S Valley. We've got dusk versus dawn.
I mean, here we are to
The
eat our
canon
words about
matchup.
Forest. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
right.
canon. It was written a long time ago to come out this way. 64 people entered the bracket, and now we are down to the final two. Ready to rock. Negra0015, the newest follower of the channel. Thank you
Hey,
so much for following the channel. Again, folks, if you haven't hit the follow button yet, I highly recommend it. The Twitch stream, again, up and up and up. Upwards and onwards, 3 weekends a month, plus some weekday streams. It's gonna become even more of a place you're trying to hang out on Saturdays and otherwise. Aloha team. What's up, Shenlong? How are you? I hate to bring it, but the hated stalls are back. Yeah. Not in not in the grand finals. But I
nice.
do I've heard that there was a lot of that game plan being executed this morning. I got to be honest, I can't keep this in with a clean heart. If I would have made it in as a player today, I was going to be playing stall C. So, oops.
Oopsies.
Oopsies. That's why they didn't let me in, chat.
Little old me was also stalling. Oh my gosh.
Oops. Yeah. They're like, Ross, you signed up too late. The spots were already filled. And they were like, no, we saw what you were gonna play, you dirty stall contributor. No, I think that play what wins. That is how the game is played. Here we go. Speaking of
Absolutely.
what wins, Hey Ya from bracket one, the Dusk Titan being piloted by Hey Ya, the human. We have Aaron Dottie, the Dawn Titan, winning their bracket. I meant to say who they were piloted by, but I
S
missed it.
Valley.
S Valley or S Valley, if you will. Let's get it on. Grand finals of Holders Frenzy.
It's here.
Dawn v
Another
Dusk.
best of 3. Again, determining it all.
Yeah, wild times. Wild times. We saw, hey, yo, right out the gate, first scroll disrupt and first scroll courage. That is crazy. Hey, yeah, tried to turn on the Jets, but got slighted off their second scroll, which was a main hand weapon scroll from that Forsaken Sword.
Spinning
Spinning
shield.
shield.
Yep.
Gonna hit
Cut
for
those stats a little
60.
bit more. Spinning shield that spike shield can either be a game ender or a stage setter like this. In the stage setting phase here, a very early blood magic from Heya.
Yeah, never too early against this aggro Dawn, though.
Very true.
Regeneration. Everybody's staying healthy. It's sixth season round these parts, folks. But these Titans in the green health. Oh my, and a major recovery. Aaron Dottie might be out of heal scrolls. Just played regeneration and major recovery. I've not seen the decks, the scroll lists.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Now Heya going to be in control with the agility still in the spicy, spicy green, 31.
Yeah, I mean, sort of like a reset on the battle currently. Like in terms of stats were sort of base, health totals were sort of irrelevant. But when you count the scrolls and things that have already been played, these players are going to be able to make much more intentional decisions. Loveless going to not hit thanks to the fizzle effect, which is unfortunate because that would have been pretty substantial lifesteal. It's one of the biggest lifesteal scrolls in the Dusk arsenal. Time to start
Yeah.
looking at total scrolls left. Heya with 13 and Arundhati with 15. And really no end in sight, but we know that things can escalate pretty quickly. There's some health steal again. Heya going to get 41. The 100% swing. Cleaving blow for 79. Yoicks. Heya using purification to get his defense back just before taking another whack from the axe of Arundhati. Oh, spike shield the other direction. Dawn strikes a big one. 117 smackies.
Triple digits.
And the health totals decided or currently, right around 20 is the deficit. Hey, yeah, losing 165 to 186. Again, total scrolls becoming much more of a piece of this puzzle. Both players well aware sort of how they're going to play through this end or the mid game into the end game. Dawn's Justice going to make the pot a spicy meatball. Overwhelm.
Overwhelm.
Let's get this party started. Counterattack the other way.
Righteous
Ooh,
blow. We're close here. The
oh, the
meditate on
meditate.
Heya.
Did not
Chop
have enough to close
wood.
it.
Oh, chop
And it's
wood does
over.
though.
Chopped wood. The axe coming in clutch. Arundhati takes game one in a nail biter. Well done.
1-0
GG's.
here.
Lightness overtook the dark. Dawn over dusk. Again, that Dawn's Justice, man. It is it really gets the party started. And then when we saw overwhelm after that, it was like this is going to be the final push. I think Aaron Dottie sort of running out of juice there at the end. I mean, ended the
Mhm.
battle with only 5 mana, so it was a go big or go home kind of turn, and looking all right, looking all right. All right, game number 2. This could be the final. Aaron Dottie just needs to win one. Hey, I needing to win 2 in a row. Real close one in game 1. Just
Opening first thing with a disrupt. Gonna catch that Forsaken Slash.
I think that was the same scroll that got ruined in game 1, which is kind of funny. I bet Hey, I was like, man, can I block some of your main weapon attacks, please? Please?
Please.
Order. The one of the only Dawn exclusive sorry, one of the only I think maybe we've seen 3 different heal cards from Arundhati. The rest is all gas, no breaks. Hmm. Chat doing a little dissection. You love to see it. Thank you all for being so engaged.
Interesting
This
draws
is
here from
yeah,
both
this is
players.
this is definitely an interesting draw from our exact perspective. Magical Slash coming out, finally getting a main hand weapon attack through. Arundhati's stats going to be peeled off.
Yeah,
There's the
magical
blind, but
slash,
might have
real
been too late.
strong.
Oof, does block the distortion kick.
Yep. Can't get true damage if you don't do damage.
Funny how that works. Although that might have just been a bait for to make way for this next turn. Get that blinded keyword out of the way with something relatively peaceful. We shall see. Arundhati got to be sweating it with 0 defense here. Distortion jab, the counterpart for 40. Shatter Shriek. Is this going to be the turn of
Oh,
drained
there's
keyword?
Dawn's
There comes another
Justice.
one. Rejection. Going to add to the 3 layers. Arundhati going to just going to get all this stolen away though. There it is.
Yep.
91 for Heya.
Yep.
Whew. All right. So, I mean, that was the combo turn. Well played and piloted by Heya. Arundhati played their major restoration and their orders. So, I mean, things things are on the table. You know, it's all out for everyone to see. But still
Look at
plenty
this
of
the scroll count, although too. Irondati has
mm,
15 to Heya's 8.
true. We've not seen either one of these players sort of go for that end game. You know, they haven't started planning for it yet. I'm sure they
Right.
have a plan, but they've never had to reach that far into the scroll bucket just yet. Agony going to hurt 100. And in return, the Titan Clash for 95. Arundhati is hurting in the mana department, only has 40 to spend. Hey, yeah, thin on scrolls in general,
Mm-hmm.
but we've got to believe he's got 80 damage in here somewhere. Just all comes down to which ones are in hand and what are the 2 left in the bottom of the barrel. Mystic Ritual going to fire it up. Did Arundhati have a scroll?
Ooh,
Ooh,
the mana
clutch.
drain. The mana drain
Now, it
gonna be
does not
big.
necessarily crush Dusk like it does some other elements because Dusk can
Mm-hmm.
still play those health scrolls. Spike Shield might be the closer. It sure
Yes.
is.
Indeed. Indeed.
Whoo! Game 3, folks. What more could you want? Game 3 bracket 1 finals. Game 3 bracket 2 finals. Game 3 grand finals. Make some noise. Get
It
crazy.
was destined. Destined.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow. 100K on Hey Ya, anyone down? Oh my. 100K doll hairs? Like what are we talking about here? I assume not. But game 3 started up. I mean, I feel like the snowball really started downhill when Heya literally healed for 91 after Arundhati played Major Restoration. Stole all of that healing away. That is an expensive scroll to not have, that safety blanket of 85 health. Ooh, got some takers even. Hot dog. BBT's here. What up, BBT? I don't think I've said hello to Nero yet either. What's up, Nero? How are you today? Glad to see all your fine faces in the chat. I love you all, chat, Hammer throw, which I used to think was a hammer exclusive scroll. I thought it was part of the main weapon for the big old mallet, but it's
It
not.
makes sense,
It
right?
does. It even the animation looks exactly like the main hand weapon, but it's no. Mana overflow for Arundhati and Heya. Just can't get rid of it fast enough, chat. Don't you hate that? It's like having too much money. Just the worst problem to have.
Oh man, what am I gonna do?
That's right. What will I ever do with all this mana? Ugh. What an inconvenience.
Courage. Gonna bring that stat line into the green. Magical Slash gonna try to cut it back down, which it does, if only for a turn or two. Courage is gonna
Ooh,
last out for
mana
3
drain
turns.
pretty early here. Oh, the major
Mm,
recovery is actually clutch because I feel like Heya's kind of pressing the pedal here.
mhm. An alchemist then here.
And a regeneration. All right. Okay. Just as soon as I said, hey, folks, we're really kicking it into fourth gear, it's like, nah, no, everyone's just going to heal up to full. Just going to do a couple more turns of buffing and debuffing, jockeying for those windows. Oh, man. DuckTales, what a shout. What a shout. 55 attack on Arundhati. I mean, that's enough to put a pretty big hurting on a Titan like Heya. Meditate. Things are just what is even happening? Spend some of that. Rejection. Going to apply the first layer of the drained keyword. Dawn's Justice going to kick up the attack stat,
Even
double
more.
it.
95. Cleaving
Would you
blow.
cleaving blow on 95?
106.
Oh my. There's healthy Heya staying up there at 450, but not
Ooh,
before the
Dawn
Dawn
Strike
Striker.
186. Cut that entire health bar in half.
Oof. Now, the redeeming quality here is that we still have the drained keyword for Dusk. Scroll totals way closer than they were last match, only off by 1. What's going to happen? Still at 95 attack, Arundhati, ready to rumble. There's the overwhelm, going to strip down some more stats. But here comes the lifesteal. 100% lifesteal on board. Hey,
Heroic
losing
Strike.
79.
Gonna pump up the attack even more for Arundhati as well.
Titan Clash is going to be massive.
Oh
105
god.
attack.
Oh god.
126.
Oh my gosh. Heya barely hangs on.
What
No
do you
mana left.
How do you spend all of your biggest lifesteal scrolls and end the turn of 21 health? Let me tell you how. You
Ridiculous.
fight a Dawn Titan with 105 plus attack stat. All right. Are we gonna see zombie? Are we gonna see zombie dusk? We sure are. Diamond Hand's gonna
Yes.
pop off. No, hey, I didn't have it in the next slot.
Oh,
So it's over.
wow. There it
Dawn
is.
takes it. Arundhati, our grand champion. Heya falling as silver medalist runner-up in Holders Frenzy. GG's to everybody. Make some noise in the chat. Oh my goodness.
Geez, well played indeed.
That was wild. That was wild.
That
What do you
was
do?
our holders frenzy. That's what
Woo!
we did it. You guys did it. Well played to everybody who participated in the brackets. That's it.
Wow.
That's all we got for you today.